What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about why I'm getting Silent Hill F. This is a video series I do where I take a look at upcoming game, and I talk about why I'm getting it, not getting it, or I'm somewhere in between. And I got to tell you, I got to be real. Silent Hill F has been a game that I think even going into the summer, I had said it was number 2 in my most anticipated of the fall. It's gone back and forth with Ghost of Yotei, and on some days, to be honest with you, I really think it wins. I think that there's some days where I say, yep, there's no game I'm looking forward to more than Ghost of Yotei. So, this is a pretty easy, why I'm getting video. It's a new Silent Hill game, but to be honest with you, okay, here's the deal. I'm not really, for as much as I've covered Silent Hill, and I think I've done a pretty okay job myself, not to pat myself on the back too much, I'm not even the biggest, I can't go through the lore with you, and I've only played a handful of games, okay? I'm really more of, not even a modern, but a modern Silent Hill fan, but just somebody who's taken a while to get into the franchise, and I've played games throughout my life, but I mean, it's really taken until I'd say the last couple years for me to really start to get it. This is just, it's a new experience, okay? And I think for me, you talk about the combat, okay? You talk about the writing style. You talk about, this taking place in Japan. I'm really just looking forward to, I guess, number one, a new Silent Hill game, or another, let's say this, because I want to go somewhere with this. Another Silent Hill game, but at the same time, something that is so radically different than Silent Hill games that we've gotten. And I will say, okay, to be understanding, I do get that probably sounds different, or it comes across different when I say it versus a Die Hard. I think it's probably why I've been more accepting of the radical, let's say, changes, and that's, I think, reasonable to say that, right? That this game is trying to pull off. I think many people are okay with the writing. I think people are okay with what they're going to try to do with the story. And I think actually I would go further than that and say that most people are very excited to see what they can do with the storytelling and the characters and all of that jazz. I think that's always come across extremely well. The story trailer that they did, I think, around Gamescom time. Well, I'm not actually going to play this game in English. I actually think that trailer, the story trailer, was probably the best trailer they had done, because it just added this new level of mystery where it's oh my dear God, is she the villain? Is there another cult thing going on? Because up until this point, we thought, okay, it's these people bullying her. They talk about Japan and society, of being a girl and trying to find that place. Is it actually, though, that she's going after her friends because of some mental manipulation? So I really like that trailer. I think that added a new level to the story that we already were let's just speak for myself, okay? I was already excited for the story, and then that trailer added to the excitement. So story and characters, I'm all in. Environment and where it's taking place, I'm good. I'm happy that they're doing something different. I'm ready for it. I think they're up for the challenge. And then, of course, there's the elephant in the room, which is the combat. And again, I do get it. I do understand it, okay? I'm here to tell you what I'm going to do with my money. You guys have every right to buy it if you want to, or not buy it. I'm not here to control your money, okay? It's your money, not mine. But with that being said, I'll tell you my experience. I mean, I am for the combat. I'm not necessarily for it compared to what we've gotten, but I'm also, and I've said this before in past videos, I'm willing to give it a try. I mean, I'll say this, because I've said this before, but this is a good place to say it again. I don't think we've ever had this Game of the Year contender gameplay from Silent Hill, and it's why, I don't know, and maybe people will get mad at, at me saying it like this, but, I just don't think Silent Hill gameplay has ever been all that spectacular to change it. And yes, they are changing it radically. And yes, some people outright hate how it looks. And I get that. But for me, it's okay, well, number one, I actually don't hate how it looks. I think it kind of looks cool. Number two, even if it turns out to be bad, I'm still willing to roll with it, because it's well, again, it's not we have this formula we do have a formula, but it's not it's this incredible formula that works every single time. It's really other things, I think, in Silent Hill games that stand out to me versus the gameplay. The gameplay can fit. The gameplay can fit the style. It can fit the character that you're trying to go through. And I get it. I mean, actually, maybe it's less believable now. Why is this girl all dancing around with a spear. She's doing these dodges. She's doing these strikes, a little bit more of a very different style than somebody who's like untrained and more like whack-a-mole style, like they're just kind of going crazy. You could argue that's actually more realistic. And I would argue that's more realistic, but I would also argue it's also not even all that good though. Like, so that's where I'm at. I can keep saying it over and over, and it is the big elephant in the room. I'm so excited for this game. I'm so excited for every element. And I'll be honest with you, I am very excited for the gameplay just to see. I think it does actually look pretty good. And then there's the level where it's like, okay, there's that. And then there's like, okay, I want to try it. Like, let me give it a go and let me judge it for myself. And again, I mean, look, if it's not good or if I don't enjoy it, I'll certainly tell you, in my review of the game. But I feel like we should try these things. Like, look, they're trying in so many different ways. We're just all on the gameplay, which is, I guess, fair because it's the most like you visually see it, like every single trailer, every single gameplay, right? She's moving around. But I mean, they're doing something different with the story, right? Even the writer, the bringing in, like they don't really do it like that. The setting of this game is a first time, right? So there is a lot that is brand new, and I think that's kind of okay. I think they're trying to do that thing where they change the franchise just enough to try to get it to appeal to newer people, but also try to keep like the old timers pleased, which, hey, you know what? There's many franchises that I would pray that happens, right? Yes, I understand you have to open it up, but don't forget about us. And while I can't pretend to be a fan of this franchise for 20 years, I can respect that. I can understand where you're coming from and say, okay, they better do that. They better do right by their longtime fans. At the end of the day, that is kind of all they got. For a franchise that's been gone for so long and has struggled for so long, those are probably the most important people. But I do also understand like trying new things and opening it up for more people. On top of, it's not just that. It's not just saying it. I think what they've shown has actually looked good, right? They're saying, okay, we want to make it more accessible or more people to get into it. That's saying it, but then like doing it and saying, okay, well, here's how we're going to do it. The writing is probably going to be a little different than what you've expected, but people really like the writer, right? The setting and the character and all this stuff, and then the gameplay. We're obviously going to change the combat quite a bit, but here's the ways we're going to keep it the same. And they've gone through that as well. So I think it's a good blend. I'm just really excited for it. This is, the more I talk about it too, the more excited I get. This and Ghost of Yotei, and funny enough, they come out like back to back. This comes out, I believe, the 25th. You can get the 2-day early access, I believe, right, with the deluxe edition. And then I think October 2nd, a week later, is Ghost of Yotei. So I will be playing this, and I will be riding that into the next most anticipated game, which is Ghost. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.